All right, we are back for round 3 of the BTB comedy contest, the virtual comedy contest. I'm stoked for this. I cannot believe the talent we've seen in the first 2 rounds, and I'm sure the third round is going to be the same. Just so you know what Behind the Bits is all about, the main thing is Behind the Bits is the podcast. It's a Behind the Bits podcast that you can find on any podcast app. All you got to do is type in Behind the Bits, and that's where I talk to serious. I talk serious with stand-up comics about their comedy. We talk about how they write, how they perform, where they got their ideas from, who inspired them, and stuff like that. So that's what the podcast is about. This is latched onto the podcast because I started meeting cool people on this online comedy, so I thought I'd put the contest together. And we also have on Thursday nights the BTB Internet Talk Show, which is a heck of a good time. And this Thursday, I've actually got the BTB Internet Talk Show Plano Comedy Festival edition. So I'm going to be in the Plano Comedy Festival, which is a virtual festival this year that goes from October 1st through the 4th. And I've got 10 great comics going to be on with me who are going to be either performing with me the same night or going to be performing during the festival. And we're going to talk about virtual comedy. We're going to talk about just all kinds of great stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And so please check out the BTB or the Behind the Bits podcast. My next episode is coming up in just about 3 hours and 58 minutes with Lucy Orchard, who's a comic over in the UK and is just tearing up this virtual comedy stuff. You've probably already heard her name if you do any virtual comedy. Okay, let's get this going. Let's bring up Mike. Mike
Hey,
Banks, how's it
Scott.
going?
Good. I like how you brought up those banners. The production value keeps on going up and up.
Yeah, I'm doing stuff. I try to do some great stuff. I tell you, Mike. First off, I'm drinking Japanese whiskey out of a wine glass, so you know it's going to be a
Nice.
classy evening.
Yeah, I know what's about to ensue based on that.
Yeah. So second, I think this is really cool. So if you remember the first round, because you were there, we had Funky Sam Adida and Justin Matson win that round, and they both had excellent sets. The funny thing is they're both seasoned comedians. They've both been doing it for a while. Round 2, we had Carmia. I can't remember how to pronounce
Carmia.
that. Carmia, okay. And Chris Wright win, and both of them are newbie comics. They both started this year.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell. They're hilarious.
Yeah, so I just think it's really cool what has happened with the whole virtual comedy thing. It's people who embraced it early are really, really good at it, and some of these seasoned comics are getting really good at it too. So it's going to be a really neat mix. I'm going to be excited to see who comes out of this one.
Yeah, kind of put us all in the first step. Gave us a fresh start when this all started.
Yeah, yeah. And I have to say, Michael, I've been away from the internet for 5 days. Has anything happened since I've been gone?
Oh, I'm not sure. I've been stayed out of the news. But probably nothing exciting since I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah.
Probably the same old memes getting recycled on your Facebook feed.
All right. Well, I tell you what, let's bring our folks up. Let's bring up Noah Chapp, Mitt Wolf, Ian Zandi, Sufian Z, Jamie Dykes, Laura Park, and Kevin H. Brady. How are you guys doing?
Oh, good, man. Good.
You ready to perform?
Yeah.
I'm ready to laugh. So as we talked about this before, each comic is going to do 5 minutes. When they get to the 4-minute mark, they're going to hear a little chime like this. Not that. Wrong button. They're going to hear that. And although this one's pretty good, I mean, we could do this for a while. I actually like that. But you're going to hear that and add a minute, and that means you got a minute left. And after each comic goes, you're going to get a little link to go to so you can score them on 3 criteria. I'm going to be tabulating that as the whole night goes on, and I'm going to have a couple winners before we all leave tonight. So sound like a good thing to you guys?
Yeah, good, man. Also,
so I'm going to give it over to Michael. Mike, do your thing.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get the ball rolling here. Again, I'm hosting the show tonight. My name's Michael Banks, and I'm not competing. So if you're here to support a friend, you don't need to cross your arms. You can laugh, as long as I'm funny. But yeah, so I'm broke. I thought that after going to college, I'd be making more money. Turns out now I just work for Sally Mae. Have you ever pumped gas into your car and the gas light is still on afterwards? That's what I'm working with. But my car's okay though. I got a push to start. Usually takes about 3 people to get it going. And my bank just asked if I wanted to set up a low balance alert system, which is like, first of all, I have a limited data plan. So I don't need you I don't need you to notify me every day just to tell me something that I already know, right? Like what I need is a no balance alert system. If my dollars amount reaches a golf score that no one has ever achieved before, then let me know. Okay? Then you can notify me. It's just like, do you know how suspicious my girl would be of all the texts I'd be getting? She would be like, who is Morgan Stanley? Oh, trust me. You've got nothing to worry about. I have been hiding from her for years. I realized that I'm terrible at geography because I always think it has to do with shapes. But listen, geography has nothing to do with the Pythagorean theorem, all right? No. That one's geology, okay? But just when I was younger, I used to think that England and Great Britain were 2 different countries. And of course, when I say younger, I mean 2 years ago. And then my friend told me that they're just one country, and I was like, oh, they worked it out. That is great news. How wonderful. I think they're good role models for Dakota and Carolina, really. But anyway, I mean, yeah, I realize what I look like. If I had a nickel for every time someone has called me handsome, they would all be from my mom. That's what I'm working with. That's why I'm done asking girls for phone numbers, because they always give me the wrong number. I call and all I hear is 911. What's your emergency? Yeah, is Tracy there? This isn't Tracy's number, is it? Man. That's some bull. But yeah, the quarantine messed a lot of stuff up. A lot of things became impossible to do, like dating, for example. No girls wanted to meet up with me because of the virus. At least that's what I've been telling myself. So here's what I've been doing. I've been using DoorDash as a dating app because you get their phone number right away. You know, they'll text you something like left it on your step. And then 5 hours later, I'll respond, you up? Okay, that's it for me, everybody. We're going to roll into the first comedian. Thank you, guys. Oh, wow, I got a clap, I believe. Thank you very much. Comedian numero uno of the night is a prolific LA-based stand-up and sketch comedian with training from theaters such as Second City and Pack Theater. His high-energy performances have been seen at the likes of Midwest Comedy Festival, Shameless Radio Hour, and Funny or Die. Kicking off tonight's show is Ian Zandi.
Thank you. It's always weird to hear your own intro. You know, it's like having a room of everyone singing happy birthday to you. You're like, what do? I guess. Also, I wrote that on bio, which is like if I wrote happy birthday. Like, so it's 10 times worse. I like doing online shows. You know, it's weird for some people, but it takes some getting used to. I did a show for a local comedy club online the other day, and 2 different people set their camera down on the floor and walked out, and I could see them go into the kitchen, like make a sandwich or something. Like, I played empty rooms before, but 2 different empty rooms at the same time. That's a new one. Normally I do a little bit of crowd work. How we doing? That sort of thing. I know how we're all doing. Just okay. Just okay. Just okay or bad. Some people are doing bad, but nobody's doing fantastic. If you're doing fantastic in 2020, you're probably a bad person. The pandemic. Black Lives Matter, murder of Zoom, one or the other. He's probably doing fantastic. If you couldn't tell by my everything, I'm bisexual. That's a confusing concept for a lot of people. When I came out a couple years ago, it was a lot like saying, please listen closely as some of our menu options have changed. But it's not all butt plugs and rainbows, okay? It's not all butt plugs and rainbows. There's some bad things, It's confusing for a lot of people, because I'm not straight enough. I'm not gay enough. I'm not flamboyant enough. But at the same time, I don't do straight things like wear cargo shorts. Eat at Outback Steakhouse. Those are very straight. I don't get tickets to go see Dr. Phil live in concert. That's the straightest thing you could do. Dr. Phil live in concert. I'm not going to go see a taping. I'm going to see him live in concert. No. I can't name any of the Queer Eye guys, even if I tried. So I'm also not a great queer person. Can't name a single one of them. But at the same time, I can't name any of the Pep Boys. So I think we're even. I think that's it. I think we're even. A lot of people wonder why my generation is so sad. But I think you can narrow it down to one reason specifically. How to Save a Life by the band The Fray was played every single day of my childhood on the radio. Every single day. You drop your son off at school. Bye, son. Have a good day. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along. Every single day. No wonder we're depressed. And the thing is, the worst part is, that wasn't the only sad song on the radio in the mid-2000s. No. They needed so many sad songs because they needed something to kick people off American Idol with. So many sad songs. Well, I'm going home to the place where I belong. So many sad songs. And the worst part is, they're all written by the same kind of person. White bald himbos. White bald himbos with a dark past. And that dark past is just that they ate at the yard house too many times. There's a restaurant around here called Bubba Gump's Shrimp. I don't know if they have that all around the world, but it's local at least. And it's based on the movie Forrest Gump, a very serious movie about AIDS, mental illness, sad things. People go here for fun. They bring their kids. What about if they did that for other very serious movies? Come on down to Clockwork Orange Juice Bar. Why don't we squeeze the fruit before you're... Come on down to Citizen Kane's Candy Cane Emporium. Chocolate Rosebud. Come on down to 8 Mile Spaghetti Diner. Instead of placemats, we'll just give you sweaters already. Come on. Movie 7. What's in the box? We can't tell you because federal crime to open other people's mail. Thank you. I've been Ian.
All right.
Nice.
Ian, that was great. So I got to talk about cargo shorts a little bit. So
do you really?
Well, here's the deal. I'm an older gentleman, and I hung out with a lot of younger comics for a long time when I could actually go to a comedy club. And I was informed by another comic that cargo shorts aren't cool. And I came home. Yeah, I came home and I counted the number of cargo shorts I have, and it was actually like 13 pair because they never like wear out. I mean, so I all the different colors and stuff like that. So I still have. I can't actually throw them away, but I actually bought some regular shorts too, so that
Oh, that's
I
good.
can mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, some board shorts.
Yeah.
What do you put in all the different pockets?
Yeah,
Besides
you know,
motion damage.
all kinds of stuff. I put my keys in there.
Okay.
I sneak my flask in there. There's all kinds of great stuff you can do with those pockets, but I don't miss them when I don't have them.
Whoa, Yowzies.
Someone step on a cat?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
I thought she was startled by how many pairs of cargo shorts you had.
I know. In my head, I'm like, oh, it's like 4 or 5. You have a baker's dozen.
Yeah, 13. All right. Well, great set, Ian.
Okay.
Michael?
Hey,
Take it
everybody,
away,
I'm
buddy.
back. Yeah, if you have like 13 pairs of cargo shorts, what's that? 200 pockets? I mean,
2 or 3. I don't
yeah,
know.
that's function over fashion. I mean, this shirt has an upside down pocket because Arthur fell out of it. So, yeah, they made the shirt wrong. This is from Walmart or Meijer, whichever one. But all right, let's stop riffing and get into the next comedian. This comedian has been performing in the Metro Detroit comedy scene for 4 years. He has been referred to by his peers as one of Michigan's darkest comedians and one of the best joke writers. He has opened for Zach Martina, featured for Esteban Tuma, and worked with Louis J. Gomez and Kurt Metzger during their This Should End Well tour. Ladies and gentlemen, Noah Chapp.
All right.
The other day at work, my boss came in the room. He told me to drop what I was doing. So his secretary hit the floor. Then I went in the bathroom. There was a guy masturbating at one of the urinals. He turned around and came on my shoe. He was like, sorry, I think we got off on the wrong foot. After work, I walked into a titty bar. I was very disappointed. All they served was milk. And then I asked a hooker how much her services would cost. She said it depended on where I'd like to climax. I got her at face value. They say guys tend to be attracted to women who remind them of their mothers, which explains why I'm a necrophile. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I'm trying to improve myself. See, people describe me as a guy who'd fuck anything that moves, and I thought, why should I limit myself like that? Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is to prove my ex-girlfriend wrong. There is a way having sex with me could be worse.
Oh.
Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is to prove my ex-girlfriend right. I was only interested in her body.
Fuck yeah.
Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is to prove my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend wrong. The reason he killed her is because he thought if he couldn't have her, no one could.
Fuck me.
Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I respect people's wishes. She said she wanted to be cremated, so I didn't pull out. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I believe sex is like landscaping. You got to do some digging if you want to lay some pipe. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I believe sex is like a writing contest that nobody cares about. You can submit after the deadline. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because my relationships start the same way they end. Her loss. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because my bumper sticker reads gas, grass, or ass.
Oh.
Hitchhiker died on the way to the hospital, so there was only one option.
Oh my god.
Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because it's my last ditch effort to get laid. Glad I looked in that last ditch. That's where I found her body. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I say a lot of things that make dead people turn over in their graves.
No.
Doggy style is my favorite position, which explains why I'm into bestiality.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Actually, the reason I'm into bestiality is because I'm trying to improve myself. People describe me as a guy who'd fuck anything with 2 legs, and I thought, why should I limit myself like that?
Fuck yeah.
Actually, the reason I'm into bestiality is to prove my ex-girlfriend wrong. She is not more fun than a barrel of monkeys.
Oh, fuck.
Actually, the reason I'm into bestiality is to prove my ex-girlfriend right. I'm joining the Mile High Club, so I will get some pussy when pigs fly.
Fuck me.
Actually, the reason I'm into bestiality is because I'm Polish. Actually, the reason I'm into bestiality is because I like protected sex. So I only fuck the ones on the endangered species list. Actually, the reason I'm into bestiality is because I believe in magic. It's easy to pull a rabbit out of a hat. The hard part is getting it to wear a condom in the first place.
Oh, fuck.
I like beating a dead horse. Explains why I'm a necrophile who's into bestiality. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile who's into bestiality is because I like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and then have sex with both of them. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile who's into bestiality is because I like going in raw dog. So I skin its carcass first.
Oh,
Whoa. Oh, beautiful.
I'm a creepy guy. And I've always been a sadistic bastard. One time in elementary school, I punched a little boy in the face and made him cry. My teacher told me to sit in the corner and think about what I'd done. I guess she thought forcing me to masturbate was some kind of punishment. You guys are a lot of fun. Good night.
Oh man, Noah, holy cow. So I got to say that we had a conversation, I think it was last week, that you asked about your set, and I said, "Oh, by the way, my first 2 rounds have been pretty clean, so but you don't have to go by that. You can say whatever you want." And I'm really glad you said whatever you want, because I've never thought anything you've said
Oh, well, thank you.
ever. All right, guys. That was great.
He's a
Vote.
bad man. I love him.
Mike, take it away.
Hey, everybody. I'm not going to riff on that because I am usually a clean comedian. I don't know how to follow that up. That was great.
Oh, thank you.
So our next comedian, having done comedy a little over a year, this comedian is not sure whether they are observational, controversial, or just terrible. They decided that it's up. Remember, they wrote these bios. I'm not saying that. They decided that it's up to the audience to decide. Either way, he enjoys it. He's never had a crowd go quiet during his set, which means this must be his first Zoom show. Here he is, Jamie Dykes.
Yo, how's it all going, okay? Yeah, so this is my first fucking gig since like lockdown about 5 months or so back. So and it's my first ever Zoom gig as well. So if it looks like I'm looking off screen to check notes, it's because I fucking am. So I did a gig before we went into lockdown. It was a real fucking shit of a place, and it was some prick talking most comic sets, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up. So it was my turn to have my fucking set, and I basically threatened the guy with the mic stand. I said, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to beat you across the head with the fucking mic stand. But seems as this is an online fucking gig, it seems a bit like an empty threat. So just to let you know, if you want to interrupt my set, it's absolutely fucking fine. Crack the fuck on. But just so you know, I can't beat you across the head with a mic stand. But what I will do, I will flood the live feed with extreme, over-the-top, grotesque, bestiality, pornography. That way, we're all complicit and everyone's absolutely fucked. Everyone caught up on all the paedophile documentaries lately? There's a lot of paedophile documentaries on. I've been watching a lot since fucking lockdown. I was really hoping that Jeffrey Epstein was going to get a posthumous Oscar nomination for his role as Jeffrey Epstein in the fucking Jeffrey Epstein documentary Filthy Rich, because that fucking took method acting to the whole new fucking level. You know what I mean? But it is a shame. You know, I say posthumous because, you know, he was murdered. You know, and, a few weeks ago, I was speaking to someone, one of my neighbors in the street, and he asked if I had seen Predator. It took a while for me to realize what the fuck he was talking about. Is he talking about the fucking film Predator with Arnie, the big sci-fi fucking shit kicker? Or is he talking about the Michael Jackson documentary Leaving Neverland, Surviving R. Kelly, or the fucking BBC interview with fucking Prince Andrew? I didn't fucking know. But that if you've seen the Prince Andrew fucking interview on the BBC, fuck me, what a fucking carnage. The royal family haven't seen a fucking wreck like that since 1997 when they killed Princess Diana. Murdered her with their own fucking car. So just for simplicity, they should just lump all these pedophile documentaries under the fucking category of fucking Monsters, Inc. Simplify the whole fucking process. Yeah, surely Disney and Pixar are going to fucking sue for the copyrights of Monsters, Inc. But these guys, the fucking elite pedophiles, they are the original Monsters fucking Inc. You know what I mean? They deserve a category of their fucking own. They fucking do. So there's a comic people say, like, what you fucking know, and all I've known the last few months is basically fucking COVID, and there's been a few fucking conspiracy theories flying around fucking lately. Like it's everything. It's a bioweapon spread by 5G towers, or it's a fucking conspiracy by big pharma and the fucking government. So it's God's punishment for fucking gay marriage, mixed race relationships, and abortion. But no, I'm not an expert on infectious disease, and I don't have a medical degree. So I'm gonna fucking take my advice from the professionals, and I'm gonna listen to the World Health Organization rather than the half-baked conspiracy junk fucking theories on social media. But what I will say on fucking COVID-19 is this: for future reference, if you need to have an injection after being bitten or scratched by an animal, is probably not a good idea to eat the fucking thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Saying that, I was cooking a meal the other night. Spent ages getting everything fucking prepped, cooked, plated up like a fucking chef. Well, almost. But you ever spent a fucking long fucking period of fucking time cooking a big fucking gourmet fucking meal only to fuck it up in the last 30 seconds by overboiling up? So I can only fucking
Jamie, come back.
Dang, we lost him on his closer.
Yeah.
I heard him say something about 30 seconds left, and then it cut off.
Yeah. They said, no, it's not. 0 seconds left.
All right. Let's
It's unfortunate. Oh, he's the one that's calling internationally, right?
yeah.
It's 1 a.m. where he's at.
Damn.
Let's see if we can get him back.
Wait, there's something loading.
And we lost him. Okay, well, I will have to say that Jamie has stayed up till 1 in the morning for me twice now. He was on the BTB Internet Talk Show, and he also did this. So I give Jamie a lot of props for that, and I hope he comes back. I'll miss him if he doesn't get back in, but I'll shoot him a message and see if we can get him back in here. Michael.
Hello, everybody. I am back on the center screen here to bring up your next comedian. This is a big one. This comedian has toured internationally as a headline comedian for clubs, casinos, cruise ships, and for our troops. She won the Boston Comedy Film Festival with a short film which she wrote, directed, edited, and starred in. She has numerous movie and television credits, including the movie Bonneville and The Wanda Sykes Show. She also built her own production company, LauraParkFilms.com. So get ready for the one and only Laura Park.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to meet her, whoever that is. Thank you so much. This is the creepiest, weirdest show ever. Ever. No, what's your number? Let's get together. This is like crazy shit, right? Oh my God. Okay. Let's just party. I'm here. I'm just a big dork. I've always been a dork, you know? Like in high school, guys were never into me. I mean, I didn't have sex until way at the end of parties. And I am an introvert. I went to school for archaeology, so I'm a people person, only after I dig them up. And you guys, I've got to get off social media. I don't know about you, but like, especially right now, it's like, I've got to get off. You know what I mean? Like, I never post anything. I just creepily linger to the point where if I see you, I sound creepy. Like, you looked so pretty at your nephew's birthday party. I like pasta too. Oh, don't tell me what you're up to. I want to read it later. That was a good creepy one for you, Noah. Special.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. I'm getting excited. My friend just had kids, you guys. Two girls, Sasha and Tika. They were trying for cats. Nature decides. They had to repaint the whole room, buy new collars, get different litter. It was just a mess. I'm single. I have one cat so far. Oh, Jesus Christ. And Scott, what you were talking about before, getting older, I am definitely getting older and I know it, but like, at least we're not getting boring, you know? I reconnected with an old friend. Now he's a bird watcher. He's a bird watcher. I'm a bird looker, you know? Like I look and then I let it go. I just use it. And like, what do the birds think of that? They're just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Is he out there? Yeah, he's out there. What's he doing? He's looking in his bird book. We're wrens. We are wrens. Let's go poop on his car. I'm originally from Wisconsin. Yeah, that's usually what I hear when I say that. It's a state, you guys. It's a dairy state. But I live here in LA now. LA, all about the car you drive. Wisconsin, all about the carcass attached to the car you drive. And that's it. You know, they say all the people are so polite, but they have to be like that. Everybody's armed. It's like, after you. Oh, please, after you. I got the door. Oh, thank you for your kindness. There should be like a huge test to get a gun permit, shouldn't there? I know there's a pop quiz. Everybody write your name on the line. Okay, put your pens down and hand in your receipts. If there was a huge test, it would be like this. Number 1, how many amendments are there in there's only one. It's called the Second Amendment. Now, give me my gun. I've been having a lot of issues with my stomach. And I went to the doctor and the doctor told me that I'm lactose intolerant. And I just thought, how do I tell my parents that in Wisconsin? Mom, Dad, I drink soy. So you're a lesbian? But you can still drink milk, right? Oh, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Laura.
Oh, yeah, thanks. That was easy.
That was great. So, Laura, I see that you are also a documentarian. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I actually worked for kiva.org. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I actually donate to that. I do the investment. Yeah.
So I worked for them, and I followed the borrowers, and so I did some documentary work, kind of following the borrowers in really rural areas of like Africa and Nicaragua and all kinds of interesting places.
Right. That's really cool. And I got in on that in the beginning, and so I think I've done 9 loans so far that have either been partially or fully paid back, and I just reinvest into someone else. And it's really neat to hear the story and see what comes out of it.
Yeah, it's so frustrating when you're out there. It's like everybody wants to work, but there's just no capital. There's no, they need money. And then they're just like, give me money, I can do anything, and they get all this stuff done, but there's just like nothing to begin with,
Yeah, that's really cool. That's cool what you do. Have you ever thought about doing a rockumentary?
That would be a great idea. I would love to do a rockumentary.
Because we're coming up on Rocktober.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, that's as funny as I get. Hey, Jamie, I just have to say that we did lose you, and we lost you on your big finish, and there's no do-over, so sorry.
That's fine.
Thanks for staying up till 1 a.m. Make sure you stick around to do the rest of the voting.
Good morning.
I came to on Laura's. That was good enough. That's fine. She closed to the both of us. That's fine.
All right. Okay, Mike, you're back.
Hey, everybody. Wow, we got a lot of high energy performers tonight. This is a great show. But I got to say, your joke about being a people person after you dig them up gave me flashbacks to Noah's set. Kind of got scared. I shivered.
Yeah, it was good.
Also, have you only been single for 1 year? It's like 1 cat per year of being single, right? Never mind, don't answer it. But I've been single, and I got 1 dog, and I'm about to get him a brother. We'll see how long this lasts. Scott, I'm not sure if you know who's up next, but I'm not sure if they're in the chat right now.
Okay, let me check.
I think we might have lost them earlier. I can start the introduction though if you want.
Do we got Kevin?
Yeah, is he in?
Yeah, he's here.
All right, sweet. So
sorry, I lost
next
him
is a comedian. All right, there he is. Up next is a comedian, actor, and musician who is based in Hackensack, New Jersey. He performs at clubs all across New York City and is a regular guest on Fashionably Funny with Marissa Smith at Broadway Comedy Club. In addition to club appearances, he has been featured on the New York Underground Comedy Festival, the Burbank Comedy Festival, and the Plano Comedy Festival. Here he is, Kevin H. Brady.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to get this out of the way right off the bat. I'm not going to be doing any COVID jokes tonight. All right. I know you're all very disappointed to hear that, but I've done the research, and honestly, they only have a 3% chance of killing.
Nice.
I think you guys deserve better than that. You deserve better than that. But it's a tough time out there. I think we can all use a little bit of good news from time to time. I've gotten some good news not too long ago. I found out that I'm the most famous person from my high school graduating class, so pretty proud of that. I just had to get past Jimmy, who got stabbed in the head after prom, and Nina, who's already a grandmother. So the bar was pretty low, but a win's a win. I've been taking this downtime to get in touch with some of the things I used to like when I was younger, watching some old movies, listening to some old music. I saw the movie Phone Booth for the first time in 15 years. You guys ever see the movie Phone Booth? If you haven't seen it, it's about a guy walking through Midtown Manhattan, and he answers a ringing payphone. And on the other end of the phone is a sniper with a rifle pointed directly at him. it's 2020. Like, this movie didn't hold up. Nobody would believe Colin Farrell is a movie star. Been listening to some old music, like I said. I just recently got back into one of my favorite bands from high school, a band called 311. You know,
Yes.
I love 311. Nothing screams authentic reggae quite like Five White Guys from Omaha. But I was always curious about where they came up with the name 311. I thought it was an interesting name. Turns out they actually named themselves after their local police department code for indecent exposure. They thought it was funny, so they went with it. What I think is funny is that police codes aren't universal. A 311 in Omaha is not the same as a 311 in California. Do you know what a 311 in California is? Possession of child pornography. Yeah. It puts their song Come Original in a whole new light. Whoa. Amber is the color of the alert on my cell phone whenever they come up on Spotify. I was thinking back on childhood. I was lucky. I had my grandparents living in the house with me. I was really close with my grandparents, especially my grandfather. My grandfather, like most men of his generation, fought during World War II. Unlike most men of his generation, though, he was absolutely convinced that Nazis were going to make a comeback. And surprise! But he was so paranoid about Nazis coming back that he said that for no reason could any of his sons or any of his grandsons could they be circumcised, because that's how the Nazis knew who the Jewish soldiers were. I really can't fault that logic, honestly, but a few problems. One, we're not that Jewish. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Old Testament. Brady is not one of the lost tribes of Israel. My mother did the 23andMe. We are 2% Ashkenazi. I have a hairy chest and anxiety. That is as Jewish as I get. Not to mention my grandfather fought in the South Pacific during World War II. You're not going to run into too many Nazis named Takashi. But I think most importantly is you now all know way too much about my penis.
Mm-hmm.
And, I really do like telling that joke. I like it because, it touches home. But, as comedians, we have to be willing to take chances. We have to take risks. We have to be willing to expose ourselves from time to time. That's very important advice I learned early on from Louis C.K. I'm not sure if you heard about this, but a police officer recently got convicted of shooting a social worker, an unarmed social worker that was helping one of his autistic clients. And, I think it's a good thing. Absolutely should have been arrested, charged, convicted. I just don't think he got charged appropriately. He was convicted of negligence and sentenced to write a 2,500-word essay about the incident. I thought people became cops because they were terrible writers. Oh, sorry. They become cops because they're terrible with people's rights. Sorry. Oh, silly me. But I'm going to wrap up with this. I had a great idea, and I want to get your opinions on it. I had an idea for a new kids show. It was going to be a spin-off of Transformers. Going to be set in modern day, called Sisformers. All right? It's about a bunch of robots that don't change into anything, but they have really strong opinions on where you can take a shit. That's going to be my time tonight. Thank you very much for having me, guys. Woo!
Oh, wow. That was great, Kevin. That was fantastic.
Thank
I
you.
know of you that you used to play, was it bass in a metal band?
Yeah, I was I always undersell it. I was a professional bassist for about a decade before getting into comedy.
Yeah. Now, was your metal band the I or the
We were actually a modern, symphonic heavy metal band.
Oh.
Yeah, orchestral arrangements in the background, operatic female singer.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
For the
I'm a
three
metalhead.
people that I was going to say, for the three people that actually know who Nightwish are.
All right. Well, I'm going to check that out. Have you listened to The Who? H-U, not W-H-O?
I have heard some things from The Who.
Yeah.
I love just about everything weird. I have not listened to them enough to say I'm into them,
Yeah.
but I dig what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I listen to enough to say this is definitely interesting and this is definitely good. I don't know if it's for me yet or not, but I got to go on a long drive and find that out. Thanks so much for coming and doing a set, Kevin. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Yo.
so far nobody has brought up anything that made me talk about my wife and I's sex life tonight. So that's good.
That's
Not
good.
the bestiality.
Yeah. We've got two
phrase going at it.
Yeah, we've got two more. So let's see if this happens. Back to you, bud.
I'm sure you could find a way to just plug it anyway. You muted me and then tried to bring me on.
Yeah, I did.
I was fine until you used the phrase "going at it." That's the one that just I was like, all right, no. But yeah, we should tell him about Joe Tidd's Christian metal band sometime.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna roll right in the next comedian here. We have with us an award-winning author and performer on deck. His recent solo shows, Flirting Like an American and From Russia Without Love, have received national critical acclaim. He received the 2020 Emerging Artists Award from National Storytelling Network and placed top 3 at the 2018 National Storytelling Festival Slam. That's not it. His stories are based on his personal experience as a first-generation immigrant and a university professor. His recent academic book won 2019 Best Book Award from International Studies Association. So everybody get ready for Sufian Zhemukhov.
Woo! All right.
Well, I'm from Russia, and everybody knows that we Russians are good at 3 things. We're good at war, we're good in space, and we're good at dating. Well, personally, I've never been at war or in space, so I'm only good at dating. The other day, I walked into a coffee shop in Maryland, and I tried to act like an American, which means that I probably looked like a first smiler from a non-smiling culture. And the barista was this big guy with orange hair. He was busy doing something and was singing, American woman, stay away from me. Then he noticed me and paused, and I said, hi. But instead of saying hi back, he turned away and shouted, Brenda, a customer, and resumed his song, American woman, mama, let me be. Which might sound rude, but I'm not an American woman, so I didn't take it personally. Then this Brenda emerged from the back door, and she looked like a nice and outgoing person with a big smile on her face, and she said, hey, how are you doing today? Finally, the weather cooled down a little bit. It got nice and breezy and the fall started. Can you believe it? Now that's the kind of attitude that I'm still struggling with. And I said, thank you. The weather is nice. So my issue is that I grew up in a gender-divided society. And where I'm from, strangers of opposite sexes are nice to each other only on 2 occasions. Either they want something from each other, or they are flirting with each other. So I assumed that this Brenda saw me as a customer and wanted me to go crazy and spend $5 in the coffee shop. And she said, what can I do for you? And I said, I'll just have a small cup of coffee to go. And she said, I'll make you the best coffee you've ever had. You will love it. And she literally ran away to make me coffee. And I thought, isn't this too much effort for just a cup of coffee? And I thought, I wonder if there is any chance she's flirting with me. And if she is, would the American social norms require me to politely flirt back? Because I don't want to be rude. The problem, however, is that I usually don't flirt with women too much younger than myself, and Brenda looked about 10, 15 years younger than me. So I was thinking about my flirting issues. Brenda came back with my coffee, and the first thing she did, she looked me into my eyes and said, I feel like I've seen you somewhere. And I thought, this is it? Here it comes. She said, have you been here before? I said, no, but people often think that they saw me before. My friends say it's because I look like George Clooney. That made Brent laugh. And I thought, I nailed it. I'm a natural with this American style of flirting. And then the big guy sized me down and suddenly said, you don't look like George Clooney. Well, I didn't say anything to that. I thought, I'm not flirting with you after all. But I'll confess I enjoyed how Brenda laughed. Not that I was going to act in it, but I thought, it never hurts to have an admirer in a coffee shop in Maryland. Then she said that will be $2.30, and I paid cash. She gave me a change, said, would you like the receipt? I said, sure. And then I took a look at the receipt, and I noticed that she gave me a senior discount. I did not expect that. But I got it wrong again. She wasn't flirting. She was just being nice to the elderly. But I told myself, okay, don't react emotionally, respond rationally. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure if I qualify for a senior discount. I'm only 46 years and 10 months old. She said, oh, I'm sorry. And then I took a dime from the change because that's how much the senior discount was, just 10 cents. And I gave it back to her. But I still couldn't get over the fact that she gave me the senior discount. And when leaving with my cup of coffee, I asked her, if you don't mind, what made you think that I was a senior citizen? And she said, it's your gray hair. And the big guy suddenly said, you don't look like a senior citizen. Well, I didn't say anything, but I appreciated the compliment this time. And I thought, maybe I should have flirted with you after all. Thank you. That's my time.
All right. Thank you, Sufian. I believe that I saw that you recently turned the big 5-0 this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how does it feel to be in the over 50 club?
Well, it feels great. Actually, I lost the track of my age around 25 years old, and I still didn't find my balance. So maybe 25 years later, I'll feel my age again.
Yeah. I tell you what, I can totally relate to the senior discount. When I was on my way back from my trip this weekend, I stopped in at a Speedway gas station to get a Diet Sunkissed Orange because that's a treat I like to give myself when I'm driving for 7 hours. And the cashier said, hey, you look like an older Harrison Ford. And I got to tell you, my brain went through so many things in the 2 seconds it took to get to the door. It's like, hey, he's a good-looking guy. That's a compliment. Hey, I think he's a little bit older than you. Hey, you ought to check Google. Hey, he's 76 and you're 56. This isn't right. So I yelled back at the cashier. I said, you mean younger Harrison Ford, right? And she said, nope. What do you think, Mike? Is that my best telling of that?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up, so you stepped on my next joke.
Man, sorry about that. Mike's heard that joke probably 180 times now.
Oh, yeah, it's one of my favorites. I was going to say that we're in the presence of celebrities with George Clooney and Harrison Ford, but yeah, you got to run the bit, so that's great. So guess what, everybody? We're coming up on our final comedian for the afternoon, so I hope you're all prepared. Our final comedian is from Chicago. He's an alum of Second City, the host of the podcast How to Be Funny. It's probably something I need to start listening to. And host of Scott, don't laugh at that.
I've been drinking. I can't help it.
You guys should have seen when I was on the talk show when he said I was the Make-A-Wish kid that got pulled into the podcast. All right, and the final credit is the host of the Hot Breath podcast, Feedback Mike. Originally a pharmacist, this is a former dope dealer gone joke dealer. Here to fill out our laugh prescription is Mitt Wolf.
All right.
How you guys doing? My name is Mitt, MIT. People always come up to me and they're like, is that Mitt as in catcher's mitt or Romney? I'm like, why are those the only two options? You know? Just once I want someone to go, is that Mitt as in oven or kitten? I'm a dumb Asian. I don't know what to say. I didn't get the Asian gene, you know? Yeah, like my parents named me Mitt because they wanted me to go to that college, you know, MIT. I got into TUT, Trump University. Yeah, graduated with honors, summa cum laude. No, they actually named me Mitt because they wanted me to be a massively intelligent techie. Unfortunately, they got a mildly illiterate tallywhacker. It's crazy. Every Asian superpower I don't have. You know what I'm saying? Asians are really good at math, and I forget my age sometimes. The other day, someone asked me my age, and I was like, 34? And she was like, that's not the proper tone for that answer. I'm bad at reading, too. You know, I was reading this article about Venezuela, about some massacre. They were like, the article read it was a military disaster, at least 4 people died. And I read it as it was a military disaster, at least 4 people died. So dumb. I think I get it from my father, dude. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it, but he just doesn't know English words. He really struggles. The things he struggles with most are the words beach and sit, you know? The last time we went on vacation, he was like, son, where is the bitch? I'm an asshole. I go, which bitch, dad? He's like, the bitch in Indiana. I'm like, oh, that bitch over there? He's like, yes, that bitch. Last week, your mother and I went to the bitch and we shit all over it. Speaking of my mom is not the smartest tool in the shed. Yeah, that's how smart I am. Smartest tool in the shed. Okay. Sharpest tool in the shed. She thinks she's a grammar queen. And that's because she took one community college class. But in reality, she just doesn't know how to conjugate verbs at all. Prime example, I was talking to my mom about overparenting. You know, Asians just love to overparent. And I was like, Mom, look, I'm an adult now. I'm 34? Yeah, I'm 34. Yes, I'm 34. And I don't want you telling me what to do, okay? So don't ever use the word should or must with me, okay? And she likes to show off. So she goes, okay, yeah. I will never use the word should, shed, must, miss, have to, to. I'm like, Mom, that's not how you conjugate those words. She's like, that's how it is in my dictionary. So dumb. My brother is actually the smartest person in our family. He's like the perfect child, you know. He was the first one to get a car. He was the first one to get married. Hey, I had first too, okay? I was the first one to cure a disease in my family. It was my own chlamydia. I think that counts. You know, I blamed it on my father. I blamed it on my mother. But actually this year, I figured it out. I was diagnosed with SCP. That's a slow cognitive processing disorder. It's a real disorder. And I remember the day when the doctor told me, she was like, you have slow cognitive processing disorder. And I was like, wait. Are you sure? All right, that's my time, guys. I've been Mitt. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks a lot, Mitt. That was great. So I got to ask you, have you completely stopped being a pharmacist so you can be a comic?
Yeah, actually, a month ago.
Wow. I mean, that's a big move. I mean, pharmacist, that's a pretty good job.
Yeah, it was involuntary though.
Oh, okay. Did you give somebody like what's the bad drugs? I don't even know hydrocodone instead of the tetracycline or what?
Yeah, I do that on purpose for the people I don't like.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm glad you're not a pharmacist anymore. All right. Well, thank you all so much for doing this. I have to tabulate Mitt's scores here. So, Michael, I'm going to let you riff with the folks for a little bit.
All right, great. Hey, Mitt, I have to ask you, has anybody told you you're like a cross between Russell Peters and Aziz Ansari? That's the vibe I was getting the whole time.
Russell Peters and Aziz Ansari? No one.
I don't know. You kind of got, I mean, when Russell Peters talks about his parents, you got that beach story. That was pretty funny. What was that?
Yeah, man, he's one of my idols, so that's good. I said
awesome. Yeah. Okay. We don't have to focus just on Mitt. He got to perform at the end there. Anybody else have any feedback or something? I never know how to riff at these ends. We kind of just talk randomly.
The pharmacist. Can you give me some diazepam, please?
No, I'm not in that business anymore. Sorry.
Noah, you look the comfiest, Noah.
Oh, I'm at home on my bed.
Yeah, that's. I try to like. Yeah, can you pan the camera to the right, please?
I don't want to incriminate myself.
Okay.
You look like a Noah. You look like a cross between the snow shoveler from Home Alone and Charles Manson. It's a compliment, though. I gotta say, it's a compliment. It really is.
I appreciate it.
Are we just doing roast
I
hour?
like the look. I think it's class. You look cross between my two heroes. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Only with a better fucking Wi-Fi connection than I got. So you know.
Hey Jamie, I want to thank you for staying awake. This is the second time you've done this for me. I've got some news, and the news is, first of all, I'm going to take that Behind the Bits logo off of Ian.
I know. I was going to say, he's
ducking in the corner.
Here, let's do that.
That works.
Poor guy. So I've only done this 3 times, and this is a first. We have a three-way tie, and the only way I can do a tiebreaker that I can think of is quickly create a form, and we're all going to vote. So you can vote for yourself. Wow. You can vote for whoever. So we've got a 3-way tie between Ian, Mitt, and Kevin. So Michael, you can vote too. I'm going to throw this link out to you. And let's get the votes done because it is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. A total 3-way tie.
The craziest thing?
Well, no. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've seen tonight.
It's not even the crazy. I was about to say that's not the craziest thing I've heard tonight.
What did I got stuck? I got.
All right, Scott, your turn to riff. I'm voting.
That I got called as a older Harrison Ford. I know you're voting. Anywho, it's really so cool to meet people from all over the world, all over the country. That's one thing that COVID has done, that I get to talk to a lot of really cool people. I've met people that I would have never met before, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I've gotten to interview some pretty cool people because they were available. People like Tom Dreesen, who's one of my idols, Ian Bagg, Michael Palisak, people like that have come on the podcast and talked seriously with me about stand-up comedy, and I really appreciate that fact. And guess what? I am looking at the tiebreaker right now. I think all responses are in.
Is it another tie?
I was about to ask that.
No, it's not. So I can officially announce our two winners. That's instead of a drum roll because I didn't get a drum roll downloaded. So our two winners for tonight are Laura Park and Kevin H. Brady. All right. All right. I like the snap thing. So Kevin and Laura are going to go on to the final round, which is October 5th. And that is going to have 3 real comics judging instead of me, because I am not judging, and I hope to God there's no ties this time. So, but Laura Park and Kevin H. Brady, congratulations for going on. Mike, thank you for hosting. Ian, Noah, Mitt, Jamie, and Sufian, thank you so much for doing the show.
Thank you for inviting.
One thing I'll say is once you've done the show, if you ever have anything you want to plug on the podcast, I do a daily update. I do the talk show, so I do get in front of a lot of people. If you want to plug anything, just shoot me a message, and I will be glad to plug that for you.
Thank you.
Nice one, man.
All right.
Cheers, brother.
Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Well, thanks so much. I'm going to go off live now because we're not saying anything funny.